Hello there, welcome back to the channel. It is Tuesday. Thank you very much for joining us again on day 3 of this save with Chievo. And a little correction, at the end of yesterday's video I said that we'd taken 5 points from 4 games or something to that effect. Of course, in the end it isn't, it's 3 games. I must have been looking at one of the friendlies. We've only had 3 league games in charge and we are unbeaten so far, and we've taken 5 points. So 5 points from 3 games, if that was to translate over the whole 20 game span of this series, we would survive. Today we are taking on Bologna and Torino. We've had a rearrangement of a game, so tomorrow it's now going to be Parma and Spal. The Inter game, Inter have got through to the semi-final of the Coppa Italia, so we've had a rearrangement of a game. So after today, we're going to do Sampdoria, Empoli and Inter off camera because Parma and Spal are currently 18th and 19th, and that you feel could be really, really pivotal, especially depending what happens in the next 5 games. So yeah, nothing has happened since yesterday with that. Disappointment of the Sassuolo game and kind of disappointment with the Roma match because of how late we let it go, but happy that we got a draw, happy that we played really well, and it's really put faith in this 4-2-3-1 that we are using with Chievo. We're going away to Bologna now, who are currently 16th, and then we take on 9th place Torino at home. I genuinely think we could keep this run going. I'd like 4 points out of this game. I would take 2, I think. I would definitely take 1 win and 1 defeat, but I definitely need something out of the Bologna game. The Torino's a bit of a free hit, to use that old parlance. The Bologna game is huge, and we absolutely have to do something about it. Got a couple of massive games involving teams around us. Frosinone are away at Inter Milan, and Spal are at home to Udinese. So both of those teams should theoretically lose those games. Of course, the game isn't played on paper, it's played on grass. But if we can win and they drop points, it makes things a lot nicer. So Luca Banti is going to referee this one. He's shown 21 yellow cards and 1 red in his 7 games in charge. It's clearly not that great a ref. 7 games out of 21 he's refereed so far. Not good at all. So this is the team that we're going with. It's pretty much unchanged, I think, except Radovanovic has come in, and I think he is the only change because I promised him more games and he did pretty well, and I do like him. He's done all right for us since he in the friendlies that we played in the winter break. He did all right as well, so going to give him a game today alongside Nicola Rigoni in midfield. It's a very, very packed defensive formation, a 5-1-2-2 they are calling it in the game here. It looks like they're going to go pretty much route 1 because there's no link there unless Jamaili here is going to play as a box-to-box. There's not an awful lot of a link between midfield and the 2 strikers up top, so we could potentially have some success about this one. So we're going to say we're huge underdogs. It hasn't gone down very well, so we'll switch to a little passionate have faith. I've got a little interview that I need to do, so we'll get that done and we'll get to kick off. The questions were about the conditions, which don't look that adverse to me. It looks pretty good. Oh, there you go. There's the rain. The rain kicked off that kickoff. And the other one was about Stefano Sorrentino, who's got injured. But he wasn't our first choice keeper anyway, he was our substitute keeper, so it doesn't really matter. And a brilliant start as Keita Balde scores after 3 minutes to put Inter 1-0 up against Frosinone. That is a huge result. And they're 2-0 up. Ivan Perisic has scored. They go 2-0 up after 9 minutes. And Udinese, not as good, have missed a penalty at Spal. How's this one going? 20 minutes in, it's very even and very cagey. I'm going to drop a little encourage. That's gone down pretty well. That's fired up a lot of people. That is one of the best results I've ever had from an encouraged shout out. It has really not gone well in this game. In this year's game, to be honest. Jonathan Avila has been booked. Giaccherini has been booked. They've had a booking as well. Juventus are 2-0 up. So it's still 0-0 with Spal. It's still 2-0 to Inter. Lazio have just had a man sent off. They were 2-0 down, got it back to 2-1, and they've now had a man sent off, but they've just equalised. And we could be in here with Giaccherini with a shot blocked, and Rigoni fires the rebound right wide. First highlight of the match, but looking at the stats, look at that. 65% possession. We've had most of the shots. We just need to encourage the boys here, I think. We're doing well. I'm going to hand that over to the assistant, saying that excellent effort so far, which I can't disagree with. And we're going to go in there now and assertively say there's a lot more to come. There wasn't really anything there that suited what I actually wanted to say. So we'll just say you're doing well, but keep going. Yeah, so Lazio with 10 men got it back to 2-2 against Genoa. And funnily enough, Lazio won the Rome derby as well in their away fixture in their home stadium against Roma. You know the deal there. Right, we're coming up to an hour. We need to make some changes soon, I think. Not been a great half. Let's demand more now. Let's try and get something out of these boys. I was really hoping those 2 goals in Rome for Stepinski would have sorted him out, but they haven't really, have they? Giaccherini, we had a bit of a run-in with him, told him that he needs to start playing better, and that just hasn't happened today. Walter Bersa is going to come on for Costinha as well. Vignato is really not playing so well at the minute, but I'm going to take off Radovanovic, and we're going to do a triple sub with 20 minutes to go, and hopefully just some fresh legs, some fresh ideas, something can ignite us. We've been a better team, but we've had one highlight so far. It's been rubbish, but it makes for a shorter video, I guess, so that's a good thing. They're now winning 3-2 on bookings, out 4-2, make that right. Let's drop a little, get creative. I guess a point wouldn't be terrible out of this. We don't want to be losing it here now. It's a highlight that we didn't want to be seeing. This is going to lead to a goal. I just know it. Jamaili, Gonzalez, Svanberg, out to Mbai. No. Shot blocked. Clear it. They're not clearing it as Destro puts a cross in, and there it is. I said it was going to lead to a goal, and it's a first ever goal for Bologna, for Federico Santander. I assume he's a new signing to have scored his first goal this far into the season. And it's shocking defending. That's a huge, huge blow to our Serie A hopes. That really, really is not a good event. We've dropped back down to the bottom. We don't really deserve it, looking at the stats. Obviously, we've had it on key and not extended, so we don't know really what's happened in the game. But looking at the stats, we have been massively FM'd there. That is not good. I'm just going to say, I can't fault you. It's just one of those days that we needed something out of that. We now have to win against Torino. Here we are then for the Torino game. You can see there that Spal have lost at Atalanta. So the massive news there is that we can get off the bottom today with a win. But very, very disappointingly, after the game that we just lost to Bologna, Empoli and Parma both won games that they shouldn't have bloody won, which is really annoying. So yeah, it's kind of set us back massively. But if we can get a win against Torino today, we've got other big games. Parma away at Fiorentina. We've got Genoa at home to Napoli. We've got Sassuolo at home to Inter. We've got Bologna away at Juve. And then on the Monday, we've got Frosinone and Empoli playing each other, which is massive. But at the minute, I don't care about Empoli. They're nowhere near us. So I'm hoping that they would win that. But what we will do is, before the end of the video, we will go through so that everybody's played 23 games. And it will give us a really good idea of how things are looking. So today's referee is Marco Guida. 7 matches again with the 7 matches. 19 yellow cards. He's dished out, but no reds. Giaccherini is keeping his place in the team, but he's been awful since we've taken over. I think his best rating was like a 6.7, and that was in one of the friendlies. So I've just given him a dressing down, and he has promised to get better. So hopefully today is the day for that. Other than that, it's been a week since the last game, so there's no real need to change anything else. We're playing really, really well. It's just that we're struggling to get The chances that we create in the back of the net, we didn't see any highlights really in that last game, did we? But hopefully Costinha, Vignato, Stepinski can do something. We've altered a little bit of the tactical instructions. We said to focus play down the right because I want to get Vignato more involved in the build-up. Actually, I like what the assistant's going to say there, and that has gone down really, really well. And then I am going to passionately say, I have faith. That is really good. And again, with the bloody tunnel interview. So here we go. It is mid-February now, approaching mid-February. It's a very, very empty stadium as well. Very sparse support for us here. Hopefully we can do something to get those guys cheering. Those questions, they were pointless, really. It was about Simone Zaza's missing for Torino. And that was about it, really. So Vignato's played a brilliant ball in and Stepinski has scored. 90 seconds on the clock. I said focus play down the right, and immediately Costinha plays it out to Vignato, and the teenage wonder kid has an assist. A lovely ball over the top, and again Stepinski with that first time finish to give us the lead, and that is a massive, massive goal in the relegation battle. We're off the bottom as things stand. We do need other things to go in our favour, but a win would take us off the bottom because of the result earlier on. As you can get down to the bottom, as you can see, Spal lost at Atalanta, so a win here does put us off the bottom. Can we get a second goal? Here's Rigoni to Giaccherini to Jaroszynski. Lovely ball in, and it does give us a second goal, and it's Emmanuel Vignato who finished third in the Player of the Month awards for January. There were 2 games played. He got like an average rating of 6.8 or something, and it got him third in the in the Player of the Month. That is a wonderful finish, though. And Pavel Jaroszynski with the cross. Emmanuel Vignato, seriously, have a look at this kid. He is something else. And that is a massive, massive goal as well. Fiorentina have taken the lead against Parma. That is huge. We desperately need that to happen. Sassuolo are a goal down now to Inter. All of a sudden, this is starting to look like a very, very good day for us. We are absolutely bossing them. They haven't had a shot yet. We've had 67% of the ball. And at the minute, I can't see anything but a home win. But this could change now with Belotti. And Avia got the block on that. Heroic defending. He is becoming a legend of the series. I said that Emmanuel Vignato would become a legend of the series, but it's Jonathan Avila that is doing it. And Costinha with the shot, and it's straight at Sirigu. But yeah, Jonathan Avila, he scored a goal on his debut. He got an assist in his next match, and he is putting in some heroic defending as well. So at the minute, this is turning into a very, very good day. I said I wanted a minimum of 3 points. I would have loved 4. 3 from today's game is vital. It's hugely important. It is critical that we win because the teams above us are starting to win as well. We are going to assertively say you might be winning, but that could all change. We've got to focus them. We've got to tell them that they need to come good, and then we'll just calmly go in and say, I'm very happy. We absolutely cannot let them rest on their laurels now. We need to put this one to bed as soon as possible. A third goal is absolutely essential here because we've learnt as Chievo Simeone puts Fiorentina 2-0 up on Parma, we know that a 2-0 lead is not safe. Torino are 9th in the table, so they are a threat. They're not showing it. They've got Andrea Belotti up front, a wonder kid from a few years ago. So this is by no means done. But we are going to look at making substitutions now. I'm not going to make 3, but I am going to take Giaccherini off because he's not been very good. And we're going to bring on Media Larice again. I'm thinking that... Oh, actually, I'm going to bring Nicola Muru on, our lone left-back for Jaroszynski. Just give Muru a bit of a run out. Look at this. I'm affording to bring players on for a run out. This would be 5 games in charge, and at the moment it would be 8 points So we are well above the 1.5 average that we need to stay up. We're going to just drop a little demand more shout out, just to hope that focuses them a little bit. And we've got one more sub to make with 10 minutes to go. Anyone having a shocker? No, there's some very average ratings. So we're going to take Kostinja off and bring on Walter Bielsa. Bit of experience in that number 10 role, and I think Walter Bielsa might come back into the starting lineup for the next game as Fiorentina go 3-0 up in their match. Udinese 1-1 against Cagliari. This is looking like a very, very good match day for us though. 3 minutes to go. It's been a very, very poor second half, but the stats do not lie. We have been brilliant in this match. This would have been all us if this was a extended highlights match. This would have been all Chievo. So I am absolutely delighted with this. As I guess this is the exit highlight as Radovanovic, Rigoni, 63% possession, and that is it. 2-0 against the top 10. They were 9th coming into this Torino, and we have dispatched them. I guess 2 early goals like that, going 2-0 up inside 12 minutes, it is going to it's going to knock the wind out of you, I guess, and they just couldn't deal with us. This formation is really good. Emmanuel Vignato picks up the man of the match. We're going to say, I'm very happy with the result and the way you played. I'm going to just jump in and give Vignato a little bit of a boost here as well and say his dominating performance was spectacular, because that is a crucial result for us. It puts us off the bottom of the league, of course. As I say, Torino were 9th. This was, out of the 2 games, this was not the one I expected to win. But of course, home form is crucial in things like this. When you're trying to save a team from relegation, it is your home form that matters hugely. So yeah, as I say, I'm just going to go through because Bologna are playing after us, and of course we've got that Frosinone-Empoli game tomorrow. So I'm just going to go through and see what happens in that. I am praying for a Bologna defeat and an Empoli win, because we cannot let Frosinone get up onto 21 points, because that puts us 8 points from safety. And potentially, of course, if Bologna do get something as well, it could suddenly have a little bit of a sour turn. So let's fast forward to tomorrow and let's see what's happened. And what do you know? Things have gone against us massively all of a sudden. Bologna got a result by getting a 0-0 draw at Juventus. And then look at this. Frosinone have beaten Empoli, which is just not good at all. It puts us 8 points from safety now. But if you want to look on the bright side, it does compress it a little bit more. It does bring Empoli back into that relegation zone. Even though they're 10 points clear, they are now looking over their shoulder again, which I guess kind of brings Sassuolo and maybe even Genoa back into it a little bit as well. But I really needed Empoli to get something out of that game. That has really not gone well for us. But you can't fault what we have done so far. If I take the friendly matches out of this, we took over, of course, from this Frosinone game. So we've had 5 games in charge now, and we've taken 8 points. And we didn't deserve to lose that game at Bologna. And to be fair, we didn't deserve the 2 draws either. We deserve something out of those games. But all we can do now is put points on the board for ourselves. We just have to keep doing that. So the next 3 games against 9th place Sampdoria, Empoli, who are 15th, and 2nd place Inter are going to be done off camera. And tomorrow we are going to do these huge games. The teams that are either side of us. 18th place Parma at home, and then 20th place Spal away. Whether they're the same positions when we come to tomorrow's video, I do not know. We will find out. But those are the 2 games that we're going to do tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely huge. Hope you'll join me for that. Obviously, we're running out of time massively. That result for Frosinone is not good for us. But we're doing brilliantly. We have got a good squad. As I say, if I took over at the start of the season, I don't think we'd go down. This is a really good squad, and I think we're going to take this quite far into the season. I said we'd be relegated by Wednesday, so that's tomorrow. I don't think we will be now. Jump in the comments. Let me know how you think we're doing. Let me know any little tweaks to the tactic that you would make. Obviously, not really going to be able to do them because this is all pre-recorded. But yeah, jump in the description as well for everything else that's going on. And yeah, just comment on how we're doing and if you think we'll stay up. And I will see you tomorrow for 2 massive, massive matches. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.